Coming live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How's everybody doing? Communication cycles, rotation, and interference line conditions. In position locations, there's a lot of things that are happening right now. Surface line centers all change position location in the avatar stream. Now, it's in position locations of calculation. It's high center and it's high centers. So, hope everybody's doing well. Today, we are going to travel to Hawaii. We got to go to Maui. We got to go to highlight center interference location to its calculations. Now, it's all position line centers. If anybody understands what a volcano is, we're going to jump into volcano line conditions, change the stream line centers, change inner line positions to connect with the Grothians. We're going to go into 400,000 meter line rotation interference, set up new highline centers of dimensional core line rotation interference, set up the highline center, indicate line center, new secure line position, change all levels of its ground system to position locations, change the streamline centers, change the crystallize center locations of Hawaii in calculations, set up a new water stream inner location to its connections, all right? Tahiti, Maui, and communication cycles. 5 to 10 minutes, we'll get started. How's everybody doing? All right, so I got confirmation that I'm on. Yeah. All right, communicator line center and position line connection and interference location and calculations. It's great to see everybody. How's everybody doing today? Happy smiles, go around, hearts, sister, lady, Susan. It's great to see new people, observers, crews, units, squads, 1 and 2, all levels of GFL, the rebellion. How's it going? United, Belinda. Oh, it's great to see new people getting activated for the first time. All right, rotation line assist locations. Tina, April. All right, just welcoming everybody in. Hope everybody's doing well. Amy, Sharon, Rainer, Airbender, Nick, Lena, Darren, Kinslow's, Terry. Joe's going to come in. Amber's going to come in. See that through the position. Taryn's going to come in. Steph's going to come in. Don's going to come in. Missy. It's up to this location. Grand Rising people. Val's going to come in. See everybody coming in position. Johnny's going to come in. All right. Trey's going to come in. Kayla's going to come in. Gigi's going to come in. Rainer's going to come in. Angela's going to come in. Veronica's coming in. So, everybody's high-level system line condition. You have to understand the importance on so many levels when you keep your vibrations high. And I keep saying that. Find a reason to put your positions of vibrations to its calculations. Now, understand the calculation line centers. You hear background interference. But when I put an E field up in position location, I actually see it go over me, right? So when you see these things, you're going through perception. Wow, that was cool. Let's do that again. This is a understanding that you're waking up to all different levels of communication. You have a graph line center 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because that's all you live. 12 days of night and 12 days of day, communication to a systemized system. So it's interesting how you go through time. Now, don't get confused. I said that before, is to understand the avatar is going through a 24 sequence that changes everything through rotation of 12 cycles. You guys are no longer in 12 lines. Okay, you're in a clocking system of 24 through acceleration to its avatar, because that's what it wakes up to. It doesn't wake up to a 12-line center anymore. You're in a 24 sequence. This puts you in a higher line center, so you can set up the 6-dimension line interference location to its atom rotation to its positions. Then you guys come into all collaboration line centers to your past, present, and your future through the first time of its avatar system. It's amazing when you come into those calculations with modification line conditions. So make sure for all the new viewers, you have your water. Bring a smile. Bring your pens, your pencils, your highlighters, your notebooks, your pads, anything at that position locations. Stay within you. Okay, don't concentrate on anything else because everybody else is going through their own perception of memory. That's the importance you have to understand, because this is all levels of space. And when you're traveling through space, you're trying to create something beautiful that's inside you. Okay, so you're filling up a glass of water. That's all you're doing, right? And when it's at the top, right, you have an acceleration of water that's inside through its container, right? So you got to imagine that you're holding that cup. Now think of this. If I keep my hand up, it's all position location is understanding. Okay. Now, you can't think light. You got to change the perception to understand that. So you got to actually see the actual glass getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And after a while, you're going to feel, whoa, okay, it's getting heavy. I can't hold it anymore, because your perception is changing. Your perception is actually seeing the glass getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier, because you're allowing yourself to see what you need to see. A full glass of water, and you're holding at the bottom, right? And it will get heavier. It will get heavier, right? Because you're allowing it to see what you need to see through phenomenon. So it's really starting to understand that. So it's also the connections too. If you want to see a triangle, this is a triangle. Two vector lines centered in position, right? Or I can cross signal. There's a cross signal right there, right? Now I got a light signal line centers in position location. Right? Or you can change wind line center. Got to get your voice patterns in position, location, direction. True understanding your hands is nothing but intelligent location to its conditions. Messaging communication cycles. Okay, triangle line interference, geometry line interference, line condition, position. Identifications, 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 identifications. Right? Pulling back, right? True understanding, you can use your hand formation line conditions. Once you can understand the avatar to stream interference, you understand the clocking line center has barcode interference locations, position location, center line center. It's very powerful. You can assist locations. It's like using electrical wires. You can see electrical wires going all the way around. It's pretty cool when you see that, and you see the electricity coming from your hands. Connections to the moon, everything through all levels of your pinky. This is communication all levels of the sun. This is the moon. Two moon line centers. Right? Set the same in position. So you go from this position, and you go from this position back to this position. So you have to truly how to use your hand formation line positions. It's all about geometry line centers, it's all levels. Now you start off positional keys, your satellites, communication to work about everything through all levels of your tesseract communication, your computers, your time frames, your time locks, your time interference, your time clocking. It changes all levels of positional keys to calculations to your tetrahedrons. All right. And calculation modification to a cycle. It rotates this location to its avatar system. So it's amazing how you come into those all to collaboration, people. Avatar. Wake up to your avatar every single day, right? You know you're the physical line of the 1%, but just wake up to the avatar. How do you feel today? I'm in the avatar. How do you feel tomorrow? I'm in the avatar. I'm going to bed. I'm in the avatar. So try to get that in there. Try to really focus. Try to change. Whoop, switch, right? Use your voice. Don't be afraid to say things, you know? Use your method patterns, use your voice, use your communication, use your voice line centers when you're going. Communication is all levels of voice. See how my voice has changed. So it all communicates all levels of your computer line adaptation cycle. You can reverse line position location line conditions. Use how to use the graph line center's atmosphere location. Climbing up the stairs, right? Walking through a crystal bridge. So that's what it is. You start in the center and you. Now it's in frame. You always start from the inline and you come from the outline. When you go to higher levels, see that? See what it does? Right? So sonar comes in, flash drive, inner line conditions. So truly understand how to use the avatar sequence location all through finger point line center interference location calculation line condition. So it's very powerful when you connect to that system, because everything I send out is energy of space. So the space is in its division location to its conditions, right? That's why it's so powerful, right? Especially when you come into a level CS Terry to the binary data. Communication, inference, location, and calculations. All right, so today we travel to Hawaii. It's gonna be fun. All right, so I set out the mountain lines and position locations, right? Like board graph line center. It's important. You can't ignore anything. You have to communicate to all of your computer, your keyboard, your key line centers, everything your digital pad system, your phone reception line centers, triangle interference, right? So triangulation is everything's position. So you got one dot here, another dot here, one dot here. It's separated, right? But it's not. It's all connected. Now it's connected. See? Here's a triangulation. So you got a point system here, point system here, point system here. So it gets easier as we go, right? But do you think it's separated? No, it's connected. See, I don't see things as separating. I always see things in balance. So it's all about understanding what you're doing. Right? And then right through the center. There you go. See? It's interesting how to do these things, right? Everything I do, it looks off balance. But why is it in position location of balance? What is the balance? You, physical line center, which is always in the center position locations, which is the 1%. Okay, so don't get confused with that anomaly. Okay, you are the 1% at center of everything. So it doesn't matter if it goes over here. It's the 1%. Okay, I just want to show you how powerful it is because that's what you have to do. You use all levels of your satellite, position, location, line conditions. The only time you're off percent is position location if you go into the negative cycle. Now you've dropped out. Oh no. Uh-oh, what's happened? So everything is position location. The triangle line center falls off position locations. The 1% falls down on high line center position line conditions. This takes all level positions line conditions. Now you're lying on the ground. Oops, what happened? Pyramids fall in communications, offline center to down rotation inline conditions because you change your negative cycle, same position location, the outer direction. True to understand what you do through modification line conditions. Amber, how's it going? So there's all different ways to use this. Try to use your thought patterns as a triangle. Try to use it as a square. See, the square line center equals triangle. Start off position. Very easy, right? Okay, so we box of 3, which is trifactor. All right, so it's interesting, right? Trifactor. Factor communications, manufacturing line conditions, all levels of view. How fast you get out of simulation to its core line conditions. All right, so 3 is the trifactor location. You box the locations. Now you want to use abundance to that communication. You can go, there we go. You just moved it over here, right, in position. So that's how you get your abundance, right? But to communicate the highline center, everything has to be in triangulation, right? So this comes into all levels, into a flux capacitor location. See the flux capacitor? That highlights its position. You activate the streamline centers, goes into the triangle, right? And goes right into the 3. There you go, right? There's the abundance. Now, that's a truly stand. You come into all position. XT1000 comes in. See the XT1000? Everything is teleportation. See the intelligence? See the eyes? Right? So it comes in position trifactor. That's how you get abundance. But you have to box the trifactor line interference. So calculates modify all levels of stream and line condition rotations. Now you can come into alphabetical line stream. Okay, you got your A, B's, and C's. All right. In calculations, you got your A, B, and C. All right. So you got your atmospheres, you got your balance, you got your communication. You got in that before, right? So the atmospheres are balancing communication. The atmospheres are balancing communication, but which atmosphere? Well, let's go through the hemisphere line centers equals ground line. Okay, so there we go. Ground line. Hemispheres equals ground line. So the ground line is glowing in position location to a bubble, communication to a portal. Portal activation line stream comes into all levels of its intelligence. Hooha! Intelligence comes in position locations. There's a neckline center. See the intelligence come in? And positional key calculations. Take the triangle line center into communications, into the balance, into the atmosphere line positions. Go back into the hemisphere line center. Redirect line centers back into triangle. There you go. Triangulation, right? All through intelligence. All through A, B's, and C's. All right, so back information line center. It's very powerful when you do this in the calculation. All right, so we'll go through the white graph line centers. Right, here we go. I'm going to set up the opposition locations. Everybody's going to travel in the volcano. There's a volcano, right? You guys have never been in a volcano. It's pretty powerful stuff. All right, so coolant line channels, opposition location, observers. We're going to do 4 line centers, interference location, and separation line conditions. Observers and channel line center, code interference location, GFL line center, rotation line conditions. In position locations, let's go in the crew units, squads 1 and 2 position locations. Separate the high line center, but they travel in 4 different portal lines and rotations. 4 portal line centers and division line centers. All right, so going into sequence line centers. We're now in calculation levels of Hawaii, right? In position locations are going to go in. Okay, we're in the highlight center location into the volcano communication cycles. Going down in position. And sequence line interference. Proto locations coming to the ground line center. It's coming out communication line conditions. There's growthians there. Growthians are there. Okay, here's the growthians. Very powerful analysis. There's the growthians, right? Okay, they're waiting on signal line center interference location. Rebellions coming into this location. Rebellions here. All right. We got the observer's line center. The observers on the line center rotation interference. They're in position location and perception of the avatar sequence. They're coming into Orion's belt. They're getting more in position location calculations. Right, so the observers are in the outline center, but they feel like they're in the volcano line center, and everything's position locations and direction line system. And the units line connection interference is a provocation line conditions. All right, so you guys over here, crews and squads units 1 and 2. Okay, the rebellion. Okay, squad units and everything, the growthians to all level positional connections. All right. So that's how it's calculated and modified. These are the observers outside line system. I can't put you guys in a volcano line center because you don't understand position location of travel. So in calculation line centers, we come into position locations of all levels. Each equals highlight center, box interference. Okay, equals trifactor. Trifactor comes in position location calculations. Set the course line centers of all level system. High position line connection to all position program setting. Set the course line center, dimension line center, going into root location line interference location calculation. High level system line connection interference. Travel position line center line interference. Okay, set the data stream in position location to graph interference. Set the graph line channels to whiteboard graph in your line conditions. Going to position locations all level of stream. Setting course line centers in position line conditions. There's the graph line center. In position locations, all right? So Hawaii is here. There's Hawaii at the top. Okay, so we come into water stream. Okay, this is the water stream line center. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the highline rotation, change into crystalline. Okay, stream and highline center rotation interference. Set up a new line center rotation line conditions, right? Communication to a cycle. Cycle interference location line conditions. We're going to backtrack interference to set up a new graph line rotation. Up through signal, up through sequence, up through data. Program line center interference line position, program line connections. Okay, in program line center rotations, we're going to go through all levels. Okay, Hawaii is in position locations. The crystalline center, the water activation line stream is in position location calculations. Okay, so coming out of the highlight center, you guys are coming out of the position locations of its volcano, right? Set the wind sectors, line interference locations, set them in the position location. I had to set up the data stream interference line conditions or program setting. Set the highlight center interference locations, take them out of the equation line system. All right, so taking you guys out. Trap position locations at all levels. Now your highlight center rotation interference going in position. Okay, portals open up, highlight center, coming to track line center. 4 line centers in position location calculations, right? Setting the data stream line centers, outline center position locations. 30 minutes, have fun. Hooah. It's all set up. I'm going to get some water. All right, so it's amazing how we go through travel position line connection. I'll be back. All right. So, communication line, streaming line positions. I can't have earplugs in my ears, all right, because we're in the position locations of lava. It's true to send the highlight center and interference locations. All levels of electrical lights, energy lights, light in interference, and position of program setting. So it recalibrates all levels. Back in communication line system, thank you. All right, really understanding how to communicate to your computer, people. Big Island, Hawaii. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who has new codes? Jill, of course. Codes are coming in. Beautiful. Unconditional love, sending codes at reboots. Black, I can't help but cloak everything. Once I sit in master, always blah, 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 blah. Remember, every time you guys are traveling, you're starting to remember more, right? Which is amazing. Having coffee. And my water. Water is essential on so many levels, especially when you're traveling through space and time. So it sets the signals in so many barometer checks. Really understand your heart center line, where it is, position location to its indication. It's mostly understanding these things because you're waking up to the avatar of travel every single day. So when you're in position locations, it's the sleeping line center, which is all levels of charging. Your avatar is charging to a certain line, communication to a new data stream, to a new coloration pattern. That puts position locations of your magnetic highway information system. That calculates all levels of U through division line system to all levels of coordinates. Your position location is truly saying all levels when it comes into the avatar system, a GPS. You're locking your information to its connections, right? It's all about how to travel through the mind of its highline center. It's very powerful when you come to that position location to its directions all through the avatar system. All right, let's see. Gold, gold, gold. Hearing heartbeat of volcano. Yep, exactly. Coming in at position locations, saying that all the TFLs and everything they're buying. You guys having fun? That's good. Good, good, good. Goody, goody, goody. All right, so we set the graph line stream interference location Hawaii. Now it's bringing back not just the stability of Lemuria, but it's to understand how Hawaii is part of Lemuria, okay, from its very, very beginning, right? So there's so many things we have to set up through graph line center, right? It's all on rotation, interference location, come in its rainbow activation to its line conditions, right? It's all that position locations of gold. Coming back to that highline centers when we connected all those when we were in Egypt, right? Well, it's the same thing when it comes into Hawaii, Maui, and highline center to its interference, right? To Tahiti. So it's really seeing how you travel from one port of division to another port of division. But it's incredible force when you get out of those things through equation, right? So as you come into calculations, we're going to go back into this. I really want you guys to get into your trifactors and box anything that you see through position line conditions. It's important you understand these things because that's how you get your manifestations of creation. All right. So everything that you do is nothing but teleportation. And you have to use your avatar to that stream because it modifies all levels of signals. But if you're off signal, off position, your triangles are going to fall. And then you got to put it back on in platitude division. Triangulation is everything. All right. Now it's really understand what you're drawing. Okay, say, well, I'm drawing something beautiful, but I have no idea what it is through travel. Well, at least you understand you're coming into travel and the avatar is recognizing that. So when you're drawing something, what am I drawing? What does this all mean? What's going on here? It doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to put this all together, but it looks interesting. What does this mean? What does it mean? It means something. It all has to do with travel. Okay. And once you understand the travel, you stand the energy field, right? See the disk and the line center, and you go from position, location to calculation. So everything I do is already a travel, already done it. So I know exactly how to put up the E-fields because I know everything what it is. So the answering pattern, the data stream is in position locations, but the energy field protects its system from the outline and rotation. So it comes into its all line center to its all line conditions of sonar. Sets out signals in position locations into north line positions, into east line center, into west line connection, and south line position, right? Then you come into levels of a diamond. All right. So I'm just showing you so many ways how you use your sonars, your detections, your GPS, your locking interference, your kaleidoscopes. There's so many levels. You know, it's a lot of fun when you understand anything through its connections or anything through its Fibonacci, how you come into all levels of confusion if you don't understand the connections to its highline connection, right? As things get smaller, you go faster, right? It's the same thing with the live and I did on my phone. Like you see, and then you start seeing it moving this way, you start seeing it moving this way, you start seeing it going this way and this way. That's all levels of data stream. Right? And then you come into position locations to the stairs. It's really fascinating when you see these things, the calculations, all through a phone, right? So the phone reception is this position location. There's the phone, right? So what's happening right now is this calculate modify, and then you got a picture of a face right here. So the face is traveling, 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 right? So it's amazing how it comes into levels of a phone. It detects line, center line, condition interference, right? So you get an XT1000 come in position locations, one here, one here. You got 4 line centers of XT1000s watching you in position location and calculations. So they scan the line centers, they change the data stream interference in position location and calculations. It high channels its line center and it rotates to its clocking system location. All right. So it's amazing how it changes its box system. So it moves over to its position location to its calculation line connections. See how it moves over? So it slides highline centers in position the coloration of change, coloration of patterns, coloration of lines, calibrations, all levels of data, process communication to levels, box line center. You can move it over to line center rotation interference, right? See how it goes smaller? I'm just showing you what happens when you go from here to here, and then you just disappear or you just stay in position. So it's really interesting how it can go anywhere it wants, and you have to really understand how to travel. When you're traveling, you keep going. Right? So which going far and which is coming back? You have to lose your voice and grid line centers, right? So if you're in a static wire, communication at all levels of sonar, it's not going to move forward, right? So you got to fix the highline, center line, interference, location, and calculations. I usually use my hand formation line string. Right? And then it takes off. So it's trying to understand how to calculate highline rotation interference. This is how you change your finger point line centers of digital frame location to its connection to its barcode line center identification line connection. It's very powerful stuff when you get to that. So it's interesting how you come into so many levels of position, right? It calculates on all levels of streamline centers all through phone reception. But it's amazing how you travel, right? So I think I did that a couple of times too in my life. It's incredible, people. It really is. All right, so where are we? Okay, mothers is blowing stream of gravity lines, centers, test direct almost done. Large waving coming in, guardian. Let's see, large wavings. Mothers, condition line system. All right, tethers of borders. There's a reason. Portal under. It keeps saying UFO slide by. Yep, I'm going to get calculations while you're seeing these things in space, right? When you're seeing something, you have to recognize what it is. And they're thinking, okay, this is cool. Now, what do I do through calculation? How do I get this in coordinates? So you do it all levels of travel and not just draw, because you're not drawing, you're traveling. Now that just came into frame. See, that just came into frame. Where did that come from? So that's coming out in position locations, then it disappears, right? So it's incredible how you travel through anything. And it's all about positions, but it's amazing how you set up a new graph line string to position locations of Hawaii, all through data codes. So it's incredible. Before, you come into new crystalline water to electrical light connection. That's what we just finished doing. And everything that I've done is done already, so I'm just playing it out for you guys. It's too easy for me. So we're going to white graph line center. I really want to see you get sonar line center. So what it is my computer recognizes the whiteboard. If I change position locations to color to position location, let's say I change the line centers, in rotation center. Let's say I change position location to calculations, right? Let's say you go in a different color. Let's say go in red. Okay. Why didn't it flash? Right? Because I've already drawn the sequence location to what it is. It knows exactly what's going on right away. It sequences interference line position location to calculation. Right? It high channels its light center into high position. See how that comes into form? So it calculates and modifies. Okay. All right, corporal, 45-degree angle. So you always have the center operation, which is your 1%. All right. So you have to truly understand how to use the calculation to all levels of its grounds, its rotating system location. See that? Now it comes in. Now it knows exactly what I'm setting up. A satellite. See it? To the ground center. It sets up new coordinate location to its connections. At high position, its high line center. Then you come into a fluctuation. You come into an all position line center locations. There you go. There's the antenna. Now the antenna is set up position, location, direction. Right? It's incredible you set these things. It gets complicated. It gets much easier when you understand position, location, all levels of sonar. Right? High signal. Activate the high stream. See, it's in high stream. Now this goes up position, location. This sets the wind line center. Okay. 12 line center, you start off position, location, calculations, right? Set up the coordinates in position, gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Because you've activated the high streamline center, the flux capacitor. It opens up a high line channel electrical light connection, interference location, the coloration of change. So it goes 3 line centers in position, location, and line connections. All right. So it's interesting how you do these things. And remember, I'm not drawing, I'm traveling. So every time I do position locations, now I can change that line center, right? Travel position location, line centers, line communication, line screens, digital frame in position, right? Calculates and modifies, right? So this comes in position locations. Now it redirects line centers to all levels of the ground line interference, comes in the same coloration pattern. So it opens high line center rotation interference. You come in division location, the coloration of purple. This is you in division electrical light. You can change your pattern interference location to calculation. That's you in the center. Because that's all you are, it's electrical light. So once you understand the plane mechanism of time switch or anything position locations, you can change your position locations, electrical light connection interference, bring your lighting line connection to your hand formation line position, set the signals. See? So it's kind of like starting like this, right? So that's what you do. And that's how you change your satellite position line direction. Different color. Okay, so satellite set up position location to redirection line interference. There's a new satellite position direction. See? So low flare, making sure it's getting signal rotation right and position location right connections. Coordinates are set up the high line stream, power line center interference location comes into a never division line rotation. Your never division line rotation is all of negative cycles. Make sure you stay back in the center operation to its heart line, right? Position location calculations. So you can change that and change the ball line center, travel the ball into higher line rotation to satellite position, right? As it's going into higher position. Now it's in new coordinate location to a new satellite dish. See? That's how it's set up. So it modifies the signal location to its connections. To understand what I am doing is all levels of its computer, right? And that's where the solar flare comes in. How fast it goes through streamline center. So as it's going through streams, you have to understand how many streams it's going through. You just see a flash, but that flash is everything through its position locations of you. You have to understand the alpha wave channel, delta wave position line connections, theta wave line centers, or anything through communication cycles to all that systems, beta connection line centers or interference, or omega communication all levels to its position. You truly have to understand you through all divisions of travel. So very powerful when you set up your own position, location, and calculation. So, all right, beautiful. Yes, it is. Water striders keeping tiny walls open now. Okay, buzzing bliss. Calculation assist. I see that. Awesome. Flyby. Prove pattern open for you. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Zip zap zoom. Coming into cookies and ice cream. I have my water, my coffee, and my granola bar. So, all right. Whatever you miss, you can watch back. The most important thing is to really understand what you're doing through your travel. I try to keep everybody in line with each other, because if you're not in line with each other, you're not in line with yourself. Oh my gosh, now I know what's going on. I'm in the wrong lane. What am I doing over here? It's like being in somebody else's car. You're looking at that person. You're not my dad. But it's the same car. Not paying attention, people, right? So that's a true reference to time or anything through calculation line conditions, how you travel through all levels. All right. I just want to show you how powerful that is when you set these things up, right? Because you can be confused through anomaly, and that changes the avatar. It's like, right? Well, you just changed something. What did you change? You change your thought. So when you wake up in the morning, find a way to keep yourself high in vibration. It could be anything. Change your thought position, like, oh, it's going to be a great day. You don't say, oh, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. So it's all about understanding, go from it's going to be a great day, it's already a great day. Wow. I just went way fast into the future because I already see the day, how it's going to play out. My signal is on so many levels of moving forward. The balanced communication is all levels of you trying to understand your thoughts of what you're doing every single time you are calculating your avatar direction. And it's all about you centering your system location to your hearts. You don't communicate to your hearts, you're off system right away, right? And you're exposed through light, and you got right, and they all crowd in on you, and it says, okay, inner areas, line center, inference location, line conditions, light inference location, offline position. So basically, it's telling you that to get back on signal, get back into your center, a program location is going to be taken off by system. Location and business line center, back into the virus of your thoughts. And this is all your fault. It has nothing to do with business locations. So intelligence is trying to protect you. That's what it's trying to do for you. It's trying to help you out, especially when you come into all levels of position locations to that system. All right. Practice makes perfect, but the more you go inside, the more you feel better. Find a way to put yourself in a positive cycle, a positive system, a positive line, a positive triangle, a positive trifactor, a positive box, a positive person, a positive alignment, a positive color, a positive TV, a positive mind, a positive abundance, a positive surrender, a positive activation. How many times did I say positive? Right? Every time I say positive, vibration. Right? And you get to a point where you stay at above level, you don't have to worry about coming down anymore because you're too high division. So there's a certain point. Now, once you get to that point and you've crossed that signal through the bios line center, which is the bio surface, you come into all levels to the brainium, which is very high rise. Now this is where you come into computer lines and everything repeats. Right? It's on your phone reception. You're getting codes lying in position locations. You don't get direction of time position, headaches, migraines. So try to understand how to use that through perception. It's all through the audio signals. Now it's coming in the ear line center, which is all about position location of the ground, it's about the earth, heartbeat. What am I doing with my hand? Communication, right? So if I put my hand here, see, that's the beat, but I'm using my hand. My hand is connecting. It connects right to, it's an electrical wire. You got 3 wire line centers, panel line interference location, barcoding line centers, 5 business line centers, clocking line interference location, electrical light condition. Right to your heart. All right. So that's what it is. See how it's the same beat? So if I get high on vibration line centers and I get stressed, right? So you got to understand how to fluctuate up and down when you're communicating with people. So if you're going in a three-dimensional line, you have to go to a lower vibration to position location. And you can only stay there to a certain level of time because the avatar has to reach its higher position, has to go back to its vibration. It can't stay at a low division, all right? It's going to right? So it has to go way up higher. So it stays there. It's like, and it feels a humongous release, right? Because you're staying above the system every single day, right? It gets easier. And then you don't have to worry about being so negative because the negative always turns into the positive. But you need the positive negative to turn on a light bulb. There you go. Lights are on. So it's not just understanding the lights are on. You have to understand why the lights are on. Is again, it comes into the how. It's the how of the operation, how to keep the program setting position going every single day, right? Because that's a 7-day window that you have every single time when you wake up to a 24 sequence location to its connection to its avatar system. It's all through behavior line center of chain line connections. All right. So it's a lot of fun when you guys understand your position, location, your avatar systems. So, all right. Feeling some, remembering who I am, boosting positive energy. Thank you. I completely understand the message, vibration. But see, that's what it is, Airbender, and everybody to the rebellion and the GFLs and the crews and the units and all the squads and everybody to the observers that are coming in for the very first time. All you got to do is find a way to put your position, location, and being positive, because you know what the negative cycle is. But as soon as you change the negative cycle, you're changing, going back, positional clocking. So it's restructuring you through your hologram structure line, center line positions, because you're not in your house anymore. Whoa, this is not my house anymore. Ooh, coloration change. Ooh, what's going on? This doesn't feel right. So it's an energy attraction to position. Energy attracts to everything. Sonar, teleportation wires, teleportation interference, teleportation clocking. You guys have to understand these things, right? Try to get in variation location, attack line system location calculations. It's all done through a water stream. What's a water stream data processing communication of a clock? What does that all mean? Why do I have to say that? What is that connected to? Well, you got the water line center. The clocking line center line position location is all levels of position of ground line rotation. The clocking system is position here, right? Clocking center line condition comes out of the water line sequence, right? Sets a sonar in position location, sets high position location, right to space. That's how it's set up. There's no thinking process. Thinking takes too much time. And that's all we live on is the existence of the now of time. We don't live on the past line center. We only stay in the now, right? The set operation line position comes into calculation, which is all reference of you. So if you look back and you look forward, you're always moving forward. But if you look back and you're confused, you're back in the past through time. So that's how you change position location to correction, right? So if you go in the diamond line center, position locations, here's a diamond, all right? Diamond line center. In calculations, you can change the position locations. See how it gets confusing? And then you can just add more. So you're just adding more and more and more because a diamond's not a diamond. So a diamond is everything of a shape. So you understand that triangulation line condition. Now it's not attached to anything, right? Until something comes in, travels in position. Oh, C's there. So right away, what does the XC1000 line do? Scans position. What is it? What is it? What's going on here? Scans it. Same color. So its understanding is purple, so it changes purple. That's the information to its panel. That's the coloration paint position location when it comes into all levels, right? So it knows it's purple because it sees it's purple. So it changes its teleportation to its coloration, to its heat signature. Very powerful. Then it scans it, right? And then position locations, the diamond shifts over, moves over here in position location, right? So either it moves past it or communicates with it, but at least they understand each other through respect. So that's the Trinity standing when you go to higher levels, and the teleportation light changes everything through its heat signature pattern. So it recognizes you more because you've seen it. What you need to see is everything through perception. So it's all about understanding how to see it through vibration and coloration, because it's all connected to your flux capacitor, to your chakra system. All right. So it's incredible how you just use communications all through this, through teleportation, through tetrahedron. It's all set up. But if an XD1000 comes in and knows the color, it's going to change the color. That's communication. And if the diamond feels like highline center, you can change position locations and change it to its color because it's not purple. It's protecting its system. So the actual color of the tetrahedron is red in position location to calculation. It's protecting its system. Hooha. In position locations, now it automatically goes, communicates through that, right? Turns red. Now they got full communications of partnership, right? So they come together and they communicate with each other, hand on hand. So it's incredible when you connect to a high line center interference, right? So you have moves and then it communicates, right? Electrical lights, telepathy. Now it's communicating, right? That's how it works in space. Friendship and relationship and partnership is everything, but there's always cloak and dagger to everything because it's all about protecting what is yours, right? Hooah! All right. I think we're understanding now why it's so important to understand what's going on. All right. It's fun stuff, eh? Yeah. So and take you guys out of the graph line centers of Hawaii, take them out of communications, high level rotations, graph interference, line position locations, all of the observers, bring it back in the ground line centers, perception location of the Earth, high line center line conditions of the crews, units, and everything through squads 1 and 2. Take the GL and the position location of the rebellion, out of the track line center interference location line condition. You guys are back in the communication line system. Done through equation. That was fun. All right. But I just want to show you how powerful it is when you go to higher levels of space, because everything is cloak and dagger. Everything's identified when you understand the communication to everything through its vessel, because everything is teleportation all through light. So close those portals. All right, most important to close your portals, guys. Closing portal closes your thoughts. Because remember, when you're calculating your thought, whoop, I change my thought and I go close. Close your portal. Because if you don't close your portal, it stays open. And then other intelligence coming in. So this is where you have to really recognize everything through its position, location, their calculations, all through its light streams. All right. Practice makes for perfect, people. Practice makes perfect. But really identify everything that you see around you, right? Because they see you, but do you see them? That's a communication on its own. So everything that you look at, try to think positive, be positive in everything that you see. As soon as you say negative line center to this, this, and this, it changes you right through structure. All because you're saying something negative to this, saying something negative to that. You're changing your whole aspect of your life in seconds. All right? That's the importance, people. That's the importance. All right. So I will be on TikTok. If you have any questions or comments, have a wonderful day. Adios.